You're listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marci Persky. In this installment, a helpful hint for Las Vegas's water-guzzling Bellagio fountain, my trip to the Department of Motor Vehicles, and Marci risks breaking the rest of her ribs.
Everybody's getting flood insurance in the desert now.
That's so weird.
Yep.
Flood insurance in the desert.
I watched this whole thing over the weekend about the water shortage in the Southwest and how our lakes are all drying up.
Yep. My girlfriend was just driving from San Francisco to LA, and there used to be this beautiful ranch at the top, the Tejon Pass. It was the Tejon Ranch, and it was open land, grazing land, and they're building, and there is no water. Are the people buying these houses like those air plants that you stick on your refrigerator that don't need any water?
Yep.
How are people going to live here? There is no water.
Last week tonight, or whatever it is, John Oliver, a comedy news thing, kind of like The Daily Show, but it's on HBO.
Yeah.
But he's doing this serious thing about water, and they were talking about the Colorado River drying up. Las Vegas, Utah, all take from the Colorado River, but they kept flashing back to the Bellagio in Las Vegas.
Oh, with their fountain?
How much water? Yeah, how much water? The sprawling suburbs of Las Vegas and
the Bellagio.
Yes, and the Bellagio.
I think what they should do, this is my idea for the Bellagio, just recycle the water from the men's urinals and color it bright yellow and say that it's colored yellow, which will be true.
Gold.
Yes, gold, just like you can win in our casino. And as long as there's no wind, it shouldn't make the slightest difference.
Las Vegas gold. Yeah, we had a water leak out here, like on our property, like lost, I think, almost 1,000 gallons of water.
Right. What did it turn out to be?
I guess it turned out to be cracked pipes, I think.
Oh.
But Frankie dug it all up and fixed it. And the last time he checked, we're holding water.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And I'm also glad to hear that somebody actually got something done in the last few days. Because I can tell you that I have a few pet peeves of things that I don't like. One of them is helplessness. And the other is making excuses about why you can't do stuff. And the third thing is blaming other people. So today I ran smack into blaming other people. My vintage Supra has been garaged for 3 years. So I took it out of the garage and I had it serviced. And the plates have been expired for 3 years, so it means that I can't just renew them. I have to get new ones. So I drive half an hour to the DMV and take a place in line. Every single person gives me something to do that's wrong. So far, I got the title, and we'll get to that. I'm online. You get to the front of the line, some guy steps up to help direct the traffic. And I've got my old plates in my hand. He said, well, you just throw those right in the recycling bin right here. And then you go talk to this woman. So I come to the front of the line. I have my passport. I have my driver's license. I have several different forms of payment. She says, well, do you have your plates? I tell her, I just threw them in the recycling bin. Why did you do that? Because I was told to do that. Do you want me to go get them? Hold on. I leave my wallet. I leave my driver's license. I leave my keys. And I run over to the blue garbage can, the recycling can, and I pick up the top and I'm reaching in. And the woman next to it goes, no, you can't go in there. And she acts like I'm trying to go to the airport without being screened in the metal detector. I said, I just threw my plates in here not 10 minutes ago. Nope, you can't get them out. I'll get them out in a minute. When I'm finished with this customer, and the woman next to her who has no idea what I'm even trying to do says, why don't you sit over there and wait? And I say to the woman who's just told me I can't go in there, what about the guy who told me to put them in there? He's standing right over. I'll help you in a minute. And put the top back on it, she says. Put the top back on their garbage can where the plates are. The guy opens up the top. He goes, well, do you know your plate number? I said, if I knew that, I wouldn't have had to go back here and get the plates.
I've never been able to remember my license plate number, by the way.
Well, we'll get to that. So he's looking, goes, well, these expired in 2019, so they must be yours. I said, I know they're bent. That's all I know. He goes, well, these are sort of bent. So I grabbed them. It's only been 5 minutes. I go back to the front of the line where my little kiosk, and I have my plates. And she says, your name
Go to
is
the back.
no. She's good guess though. Could have been. She says, well, what's the VIN number? The VIN number is like the serial number of your car. I say, I'm not sure, but I could look at my parking app. She goes, why didn't you look in your parking app before you went and got your plates? I said, because you told me to go get the plates. She said, well, why didn't you just look in your parking app? And finally, I'm getting frustrated, and I say, none of us here really know what we're supposed to be doing. You're the ones who are supposed to know what you're doing. Very
They've probably
politely.
been closed for 2 years due to COVID. They don't remember.
And then she says, well, you could have used your parking app. She said, but your name on here is Turi. We can't give you plates if your title doesn't match the whatever your license, what the title on your, I don't even know. The title doesn't match my legal name. She gets a supervisor, and the supervisor says, your title doesn't match your other ID, so you need to bring the court documents confirming your name change. And then I start to really lose it, and I say, I never changed my name. It's the same name I always had. Well, why is your title? I don't know. That's my nickname. They put my title. Well, they shouldn't have done that. What am I supposed to do? Go back 10 years, find the person who issued the title under my nickname, and what? Spank her? What am I supposed to do with that information? So I do what I usually do in these situations where I really want to fly through the plexiglass and kill somebody. I just stood there and I said, is there anything you can do? And she said, well, you're going to have to go back and get your title. Then you have to go and pay to get your title corrected. Then with the corrected title, you get on the line again. I said, well, I'm keeping these old plates. I said, because they're all I've got. And I clutched them to my chest like a teddy bear. And I walked out of there. No better, no worse than I was before. But here's the thing. People were asking people. I looked around and people were being asked all over the place why they didn't have this and why they didn't have that. And at no point was anybody in the entire Secretary of State's office communicating with the customers that they supposedly serve. There was no sign saying what forms of payment they would accept. There was no sign saying what you had to have with you in order to get new plates. There was no sign saying, what to do if we've made a mistake. There was no price sheet posted. The only information that they had posted in this entire area was what they don't do. We do not issue City of Chicago stickers. That's it. That was all. This was all the information they felt they had to give us was what we're not going to do for you. All the rest of the crap that they're not going to do for you, they make you stand online for 20 minutes to find out.
Come up here. We have a little teeny tiny office. There's only 3 people in it. And they know everything, and there's never any wait.
May I just remind you what it took to get Marci Persky Road done?
That's true, but that was the state of Arizona. Oh, I guess the DMV.
This is the state of Illinois. How many thousands of dollars did it take you to get the ownership of 20 feet of dirt?
That's
Not even
true.
ownership, the right to drive your car over 20 feet of dirt.
Excuse me. $1,200. No, it's $1,800 for 150 feet.
Roughly $100 a foot, roughly.
Yep. But I can relate to the whole name thing. Because I don't know if I've told you, but my name is actually spelled wrong on my birth certificate. And that could be reversed to saying that I spell my name wrong now because the name is spelled different on the birth certificate. But ever since I was old enough to pick up a pencil, I was taught that my name is Marci. But my name on my birth certificate is Marcy.
You realize you may have to stand in front of that same woman that I stood in front of and get your birth certificate changed.
Oh, I had to go through all kinds of gymnastics to get a passport.
Yeah.
And explain to them how I was born in the car and my dad was freaked out and he spelled my name wrong according to my mom, and it's why there's a dash instead of a middle name on my birth certificate. And I think they were just tired of the story and they just said, never mind.
They want to know why. Like, why? Like, even if
why
would make a difference. Like, I could tell you why, but you're not going to help me anyway. So why should I tell you why? I could tell them, you want to know why the name on my title is Turi, my nickname? Because I was on the air, and that's what everybody knew me as, and everybody in the place knew exactly who I was, and they were happy to put my name on that document. And then
I would have said because it's only 2 syllables, so people like you can understand.
Oh, man. The problem is the group of people who say, well, why did you do that? What you'd be justified in saying is, because I could.
That's where you just pull out the old mom and dad.
Because I said so. The irony of all of this is that if I really wanted to do anything illegal with my car, I would not do it in my car. I would do what every other thug in Chicago does and steal somebody else's car and commit my crime in that.
There you go.
That's how I would do it. I wouldn't do it by going to the DMV, legally registering my car, and then using it to commit a crime.
Speaking of names.
Took all day, by the way.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
I'm sure it did. My first radio job, I had to use the name Marci Williams, which was my dad's middle name. Mm-hmm. I used Marci Williams because nobody, not a single person at this radio station could pronounce Marcy Persky. Yeah, it came out wrong every single time. So I said, okay, Marci Williams, use it. Once I left that station for one that's a little more sophisticated, which didn't take much, I just used my name.
And you have forever since.
Yes, I have forever since. Actually, one time I changed it, I think. And then it changed it back pretty rapidly.
Did you change it back after you got divorced or before you got divorced just for spite?
After.
After, for one of your many marriages.
Yeah. One of my 10,000.
One of your...
No, this one is coming up on 15 years. 15 years.
And I wasn't even invited. I'd like to point out again. And the worst part of it is that I really, I am a Chicagoan, but that Chicago accent kills me. Yeah. Well, you're going to have to come back.
That's very nasally, by the way.
That's what they sound like. I don't think that most people who live their lives in Chicago have much use for half their vocal cords. They mostly use their noses. If you want to do a Chicago accent easily, listen to some geese. It's like the Affleck commercial for however long they're speaking to you.
Frankie's from the Northwest Side.
He has one of those.
Does he?
Yeah, he does.
I'm sure he'll be glad to hear that. He's driving home listening. We might lose one of our 2 listeners.
No, I apologize.
Now, Frankie is on my awesome husband list.
Again?
At the moment.
Some more? Yeah.
He brought home an air conditioner yesterday.
A real one?
Well, yeah. As real as we can get in a log cabin that doesn't have normal size windows to put in a window air conditioner. But the one that we had...
You told me. It just kind of spat lukewarm air. Oh, it actually blew up.
It actually blew up.
Oh, tell the truth. Did you sabotage it on purpose so you could get a good one?
No, I didn't.
I would have. I'd have lit that little thing on fire. I would.
Well, we have a good one now, and I'm really, really happy, especially since I'm still sitting up in a chair.
Oh.
If I had known that it takes like a cracked rib this long to heal, I never would have done it. I never would have fallen off that deck if I knew that this was going to hurt for so long.
Here's what I want to know. That thing where you flop down in a chair, has this changed at all?
You can't teach this old dog new tricks.
You still have some ribs on the other side that you haven't broken yet?
Do.
All right, then.
But yeah, last night I slept sitting up at least in cool air. 2 days ago, it was 90 degrees in this house. I was not a nice person. I would
throw your daughter out of her little splash pool. That's what I would do.
Actually, you know what happened to the splash pool is now her garden. Oh. She filled it with dirt and planted lettuce and tomatoes and probably other stuff. But it's a garden now, so we don't really have a splash pool anymore.
Oh, I would have been so desperate. I would have dumped out all those cute little seedlings that she's so painstakingly planted.
Filled it with water.
That's what I would have done.
Well, I'm past it now.
Well, mazel tov on your new air conditioner.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. If you've made it this far, chances are you've been enjoying Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast, in which case you might also like my book, She Said What, A Life on the Air. You can find that at your neighborhood independent bookstore or on Amazon. Marci and I really appreciate your good reviews wherever you care to leave them. Your kind words help the podcast grow. Thanks.